According to Practical Boater magazine, the shiny outer layer of your fiberglass boat, known as the gel coat, isn't exactly waterproof. Over the years, small amounts of water can find their way through, so it's ever so slightly porous surface, and it reacts with the uncured chemicals that may be in the fiberglass mat beneath. This reaction creates byproducts, which usually, over a period of several years, creates enough pressure to force up blisters. Hi, I'm Alan Stokel. Now, if you're buying a used boat, we'll show you how you can spot osmotic blistering, or as I call it, the pox. If your boat already has it, we'll explore your options. I've got to tell you straight up, I've never done this work before. Other videos will show you how to actually make the repairs if you choose to go ahead with the treatment. But watch this video first. So, you're buying a boat, and the Marine Survey states that there is osmotic blistering. Should you run away from the deal? Maybe. The blisters themselves are symptoms of advanced osmosis. Osmosis is more prevalent in warm climates, where the boats sit year-round in warm water. In these cases, blisters can reach the size of dinner plates. If you're buying a boat that has spent a lot of time in the water, rather than half its life on the hard, get a surveyor to take a close look at the underwater hull. Hulls can be protected against osmosis by adding a few layers of epoxy, but before they can be applied, the hull has to be very dry, or there is a problem with it, with the moisture still being sealed in. So, actual blistering is a sign of advanced osmosis, and applying a barrier coat once they've appeared will only make things worse. Ugh. The professional cure for osmosis is straightforward, but time-consuming and costly. The first stage is to remove all the underwater gel coat completely, along with any delaminated substrate that may have caused the problem. Then the exposed glass fiber mat has to be dried out until it's at least 5 or below on the standardized moisture meter. Once the hull is dry and the old gel coat and often some of the underlying mat can now be replaced with a more robust material. These gel coat replacements are made from epoxy resin, which forms an almost impermeable barrier and lasts much longer than the old polyester gel coat. So, although a repair is expensive and your boat will be out of the commission for at least 6 weeks, it should last for another 20 years. Usually, this treatment is done by professionals. If your boat is only worth a couple of thousand, kind of like mine, or if you simply can't afford thousands for the job to be done, you may have a problem, and it can be solved. Well, you seem like a good person to me, and I need you, another good person like me, to do 2 things to help me grow my channel. First, please give me a thumbs up, and please watch to the end. Neither of these things will cost you anything except a moment of your time. The author of this story actually says that a DIY temporary repair is actually possible if you have somewhere to dry the boat out and you don't mind a bit of hard work. So what are the options if you've found some blistering on your gel coat? Option 1, leave it alone. The gel coat is simply a protective outer layer and has no real strength. It takes time for these blisters to grow, and keeping the boat ashore for longer periods, like in the northern hemisphere, can slow the progress down. Thousands of boats are sailing happily throughout the world with high moisture readings. But getting to recognize the signs is important. Keep an eye on the situation. If they get too big, there is a small risk that they could fracture open and allow water into the hull, not the boat. If the delamination gets really bad, then water could find its way inboard. If you want to sell your boat, be prepared to sell it cheap if it's almost a hopeless case. It may be cheaper to sell the fittings and the bits and pieces and simply recycle the hull otherwise. And that's the end of your boat. Now, option 2, do the full repair. It'll be a labor of love, but it can be done. The first step is always the gel coat. With you have to strip it away with a special tool and then expose the substrate, and it should be lightly blasted by professionals. The exposed laminate then has to be washed and thoroughly dried, and may need some lamination work before the hull can be fared smooth. This requires patience, elbow grease, and a good eye for fairing to preserve the yacht's underwater shape. It's not really for the faint-hearted or the work-shy. There are full details on the Practical Boater website. Now, option 3, partial repair or treatment of the symptoms, not the disease. It is possible to treat the symptoms rather than the cause by popping open the blisters, washing them out, drying them thoroughly, and then filling them with an epoxy filler. Now, some people are tempted to put an epoxy barrier treatment anyway without doing the repairs. But this is inadvisable, as the original gel coat remains slightly porous. So leaving it will allow the moisture that's in there already to leach out during the time ashore. Some manufacturers of epoxy suggest that a dehumidifier running in a completely sealed tent under the boat will draw out sufficient moisture, but others disagree. It's best done in dry months of the summer, or better still, under cover. Now, if you found this video useful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Better still, watch the commercials. I'm Alan Stokel. Thank you very much for watching.